I am C.V. Ganesh from the Department of Physics, Bharatidasana Matriculation School. I am going to teach problems on physics based on 11th standard NEET questions. Shall we start the problem? Yes. The first problem is about angular velocity and angle subtended by a circular motion. We are given the angular velocity of a uniform body as omega is given as 80 radians per second. 80 radians per second. So this is the omega is given as uniform angular velocity. Omega is given in this problem, and it is given, time is also given. Time is equal to 5 seconds. So by definition, what is omega? Omega is equal to theta by time. So if I substitute the value of omega and time, I will get theta is equal to omega into time. So I will get 80 into 5, that is equal to 400 radians is the answer. So it's a very simple problem, but what you have to remember, the clue is angular velocity is equal to angular displacement by time. Shall we see the next problem? Yes. In this problem, the linear and angular acceleration of a particle are given. What is the distance from the axis of rotation? So how will you solve the problem? It's given, V is given linear velocity as 10 meter, with linear acceleration is given, A acceleration is given as 10 meters per second square. And angular acceleration alpha is given as 5 radians per second square. So what is asked is the distance. So what is the relationship between alpha and A? A is equal to V square by R. So we know that angular acceleration A is equal to 10 by 2. That is equal to 10 by 5. That is equal to 2 meters is the distance. So this is the answer. Next one. A wheel starts rotating at 10 radians per second with an angular velocity of 100 radians per second in 15 seconds. So it's given, what is given? Omega is given as 10 radians per second and attains the angular velocity omega 1 is at 10 and omega 2 at 100 radians per second. You are asked to find out the angular acceleration. What is alpha? Alpha is equal to omega 2 minus omega 1 divided by time. Time is given as 15 seconds. So we have to find out alpha is equal to omega 2 is 100 minus omega 1 is 10 divided by 15. So that is equal to 90 divided by 15, that is equal to 6 radians per second square. So this is the answer. Very simple problem. So we will go to the next problem. So in this problem, both speed and radius of a circular path of a revolving body are doubled. What will be the magnitude of centripetal force? So first we need to know what is the centripetal force. So centripetal force CF is equal to mv square by r. Here we have to find out what will happen to the magnitude of centripetal force if the radius is doubled and speed is doubled. So let us say C1 is equal to m into V1 V square by r. So for C2 is equal to speed is doubled, so m into 2v whole square divided by 2r. So what will you get? You will get 4mv square divided by 2r. So that is equal to 2mv square by 2r. So what is the ratio of C1 is to C2? C1 is to C2 will be equal to mv square by r is to 2 mv square by r. So the ratio is 1 is to 2. So this is the answer. Very simple problem. We have to look at what is asked, what is the formula you know, substitute and get the answer. Next problem. So here in this problem, the body's mass is given as 0.5 kg and the circular path of diameter is given, revolution is given. We have to find out the centripetal force. So let us go by given what is given. Given as omega has to be found out. Omega is equal to 2 pi n by 60. So n is the given as 31.4 seconds, 10 revolutions. So this is omega is equal to 2 pi n by 60 revolutions per second. So n is equal to, so 2 pi 10 revolutions divided by 31.4. So that is equal to pi and pi cancel, 10 remains is equal to 2 radians per second. So this is the angular speed. Angular speed is 2 pi n by 31.4 seconds. So that is equal to 2 radians per second. You are given diameter r is equal to 0.5 meter and you are given mass is given as how much? 0.5 kg. So what is the value for finding out the centripetal force? Centripetal force is equal to mv square by r. R it is also equal to mr omega square. So I know what is my m value I know it is equal to 0.5, r value I know it is also 0.5 and omega I know how much is it? 2 square. So 0.5 into 0.5, 0.25, 0.25 into 4 is equal to 1 Newton or 1 kilo radian, 1 Newton. So centripetal force is 1 Newton. So this is how you have to answer the problem. Next problem we will see. So in this problem, what is asked is centripetal acceleration. What is centripetal acceleration? Centripetal acceleration is nothing but a of c. So it is given by v square by r. So first we have to find out v square, or omega is given, so we can use the formula v is equal to r omega, v is equal to r omega, and substitute the value as r omega the whole square divided by r. So that is equal to r omega square. We are given the value of r is equal to 3 meters long, attached to r is equal to 3 meters is given, and omega we have to find out. What is omega? Omega is equal to 2 pi n. So what is my n? My n is 60 revolutions per minute. So I convert it into 2 pi into 60 per second I have to convert. So I divide it by 60. So what will I get? I will get omega is equal to 2 pi radians per second. So now I can find out the value of AC. Very simple. AC is equal to R is 3 into 2 pi whole square. So 2 into 2 4 into 3 12. So it is equal to 12 pi square radians per second square. Very simple problem. When you read the problem, you understand the problem, you substitute the values, write the formula, write down the equation and get the answer. Very simple problem. Next problem we will see. Yes. So in this problem, the angular velocity of a particle is given by omega is equal to 1.5 t minus 3 t square plus 2. Very simple, answer is very easy. You have to find out the angular acceleration. So how will you find out the angular acceleration? If you divide the angular velocity by time, you will get angular acceleration. So that's what we are going to do now. So we are going to find out omega is given as 1.5 t minus 3 t square plus 2. So I want to find out alpha. What is alpha? Alpha is the angular acceleration. So that is equal to d omega divided by dt. So I get the value. that is I substitute d omega by dt. I find out the differential of angular velocity with time. So I get is equal to 1.5 minus 3 into 2, 6t. It is being asked in this question that what happens when the acceleration decreases to be equal to 0. So what do I have to do? I have to do alpha is equal to 0. So when I take alpha is equal to 0, d omega by dt is equal to 0. So I want to equate this equation to 0. So what will I have? 1.5 minus 6t is equal to 0. 3 into 2, 6, 15 into 1, 15. So this is not 1.5, this is 15. So this is 15. So this is 15 minus, so this is 15. Minus 60 is equal to 0, or 15 is equal to 60, or t is equal to 15 by 6, that is equal to 2.5 seconds. This you should not take more than 10 or 20 seconds. As you understand the concept clearly and apply the problem, then the solution becomes very easy. Next problem we will see. So now we want to conclude the class by knowing the difference between linear velocity and angular velocity, and that gives you a very good sound grounding in the subject. How let us see. So what is the linear velocity? Linear velocity I am going to describe to you as we solve the problems. That is, if I am having a block of mass, and this block of mass is moving in a straight line. So let us consider this position to be A, and then it is traveling like this. So each point in the block A is traveling with the same speed until it reaches the other end B. So this is the fundamental fact in linear velocity. All the particles are traveling uniformly with the same velocity in a straight line. Now what happens in a circular motion? Now I am having a circular motion of a small body like this. So now understand, I am going to turn, so this point is moving in a particular direction, whereas this point is moving in another particular direction. So you have to understand that the very simple difference between rotational and linear velocity is all the particles of different motion do not travel with the same direction in a circular rotational motion as compared to linear motion. So linear motion velocity you can easily call it as, if this is S, I call the velocity is equal to ds divided by dt. So this is my velocity, linear velocity. Here what happens, I am having a circle, so I am having an angle theta, and this is the point A to B, and this is my radius, and this is my S. My S is the arc length. So what I have to do? I have to do S is equal to r theta. And when I divide ds by dt, as in the case of linear velocity v, I divide the r also as r d theta by dt. So what do I get? I get v is equal to r omega. So you understand now the relationship between relative velocity, linear velocity and angular velocity. Angular velocity is nothing but v by r, or velocity is equal to r omega. Next, last problem we will see the laws of rotational and circular motion. In one moment we will complete this. So we have the value v is equal to r omega, and this is equal to u plus at, and this is equal to s is equal to ut plus half at square, and v square is equal to u square plus 2as. This is the formula in a linear action. For the same thing, omega is equal to omega naught is equal to omega is equal to omega naught plus alpha t, and s is equal to theta is equal to omega t plus half alpha t square, and last one omega square is equal to omega naught square plus 2 into alpha theta. So these are the three equations, comparison between linear and rotational motion. With this, we have successfully completed the initial problems on linear and rotational motion. You have learned the difference between rotational motion and circular motion, and we have solved the problems on velocity and displacement. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.